With such a large cast, the characters of Game of Thrones were constantly dispersed over Westeros and beyond. In many situations, this caused characters who were very close to be separated for lengthy periods of time. These separations were always heartbreaking, but they frequently resulted in wonderful reunions. These reunions were sometimes between family members who hadn't seen each other in a long time. Others were close friends that fans enjoyed seeing together. And some of them were foes who reconnected with a lot of angst. Whatever the circumstances, Ranker users preferred the following Game of Thrones reunions.
Look at you. You're a man.
A reunion on the program might sometimes remind viewers how long it has been since the two characters last met. Jon and Bran last spoke before Bran's fall in the first episode of the program. Bran was in a coma when Jon saw him before leaving for Castle Black, and no one expected him to wake up. In the last season, Jon welcomes Daenerys to Winterfell, and the two reconnect. It's lovely to see Jon rush from his horse at the sight of Bran and kiss his head, but it's a sad reunion for Jon, who realizes Bran is no longer the small kid he once knew.
Jon Snow, this is Sir Jorah Mormont, an old friend.
Daenerys and Jorah's relationship had its ups and downs, especially after she discovered he previously spied on her for Robert Baratheon. When she eventually forgives him, he discloses that he has grayscale and must avoid her. Jorah is healed and returns to Dragonstone to rejoin his queen's company, despite the fact that they probably never expected to see each other again. After everything they've gone through, all their problems are quickly forgotten as Daenerys warmly welcomes him back.
We did it! We faced those icy fucks.
Tormund Giantsbane and Brienne of Tarth had one of the most surprising and popular partnerships in the series. To be honest, it was primarily one-sided, as Tormund had an overt infatuation with Brienne, which she found strange. Even as the protagonists prepared for their war against the Night King, it provided some of the series' funniest moments. When Tormund sees Brienne again, he forgets about their coming destiny and embarks on a weird yarn about how he earned his name, which he erroneously believes would impress her.
Thought you were dead.
Not yet.
Brienne and the Hound's fight in Season 4 was one of the most savage in Game of Thrones. Both of these great warriors are beaten, and the Hound is apparently left for dead, so when they met into one other in King's Landing in Season 7, it took both of them by surprise. Despite their earlier clash, the reunion of two former adversaries is really rather pleasant. It's heartwarming to witness these two people who nearly murdered one another exhibiting mutual regard for one another.
That was a nice axe you made for him. You've gotten better.
Yeah, thanks. So have you.
Arya Stark does not make friends easily, but she develops a special bond with Gendry. Though they frequently quarreled like siblings, viewers could tell there was something more going on. That made Melisandre's abduction of Gendry all the more painful. As the confrontation with the White Walkers approaches in the last season, Arya and Gendry ultimately reconcile at Winterfell. With death looming, Arya and Gendry complete their relationship in a scene that both satisfies viewers and provided the protagonists with a fleeting moment of bliss.
The Lady of Winterfell. Has a nice ring to it.
Even though Tyrion and Sansa's wedding was the least heartbreaking on Game of Thrones, it was still an unhappy marriage that none of them desired. Before Sansa escaped King's Landing, they last saw each other during Joffrey's spectacular wedding. When they meet again at Winterfell, it is a respectful reunion rather than a friendly one. Tyrion notices that Sansa has matured into a skilled political player, while Sansa is relieved to see Tyrion alive. They even share a dark joke about Joffrey's tragic end.
I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to be down here.
Whenever he was faced with a new difficulty, Jon Snow could turn to his best buddy Sam for help. Not predictably, Jon is slain by his companions shortly after Sam is transported to the Citadel. They rejoin in Winterfell following his resurrection and Sam's studies. The reunion, however, is more complex than fans would have imagined. Not only is Sam still grieving from the revelation that Daenerys murdered his father and brother, but he also exposed Jon's parents' true identities. It is, without a doubt, the most exciting reunion on the program.
I heard you were here. You left me to die.
Though the Hound first kidnapped Arya, his character journey in Game of Thrones is inextricably linked to her. He still has an unacknowledged crush on her, despite the fact that she abandoned him after his confrontation with Brienne. Their prior meeting is not forgotten when they meet again in Winterfell. They are still hostile and nasty to one another, but it is evident that these two assassins have some connection that no one else understands.
How did you sneak up on me?
How did you survive a knife through the heart?
I didn't.
One of the most touching sequences in the entire series is when Jon gives Arya her first sword in Season 1. It's hard to think that these two characters didn't cross paths again until the show's final season. Arya rapidly demonstrates that she has matured into a warrior throughout that time period, a journey that began with that sword. Her fierce persona, however, cannot persist, and she and Jon hug after being away for so long. These two had always appeared the closest to the Stark children, and it was such a joy to see them together again. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button so I can feel all mushy inside. Also, click the subscribe button while you are there, and then since you are on such a clicking roll, why not click on another awesome video that is already loaded up right here. You don't even have to watch it, just let the video play at 1% while you eat your sushi or something.